What is up, you guys? And of course, you are tuned in to Monday Night Raw versus SmackDown, and we have some breaking news on behalf of myself, Adam Pierce, and Chelsea Green. Monday Night Raw has decided to relinquish our win tonight to SmackDown, but we'll get into that a little more a little later. When we come back, you'll get Raw in 15 minutes. Of course, here, WWE Raw versus SmackDown in the den. Okay. Boy, oh boy, what a week of wrestling, a month of wrestling, and already a year of wrestling. You are tuned in to the Shakers Den, brought to you by Battleground Podcast. I am Nikki Bougie, and I'm here with Drian Santana, of course, my tag team partner, and we make up the Salt Shakers, the dominant tag team in wrestling media. And we've proven that time and time again. 4 interviews this weekend, 48 hours. I can't wait for y'all to see it, but we ain't talking about that right now. Drian Santana, what's going on?
Nothing much. I mean, we have to talk about what's been
Oh,
still among social media. It seems like this is something that has really, really hit a lot
mm,
of people. I'm glad that, the type of brand that I have
oh,
and the
real.
person that's in charge of the brand, we're able to always hold it together,
Yeah.
no matter what. But
Well, y'all ran us in the ground this week. But before we get into that 15 minutes of Raw, we will be having a special guest with us this evening. The creator and founder of Hardy Wrestling Podcast herself. She is also a writer. And for land, I can never say that word. I be wanting to use it, but entrepreneur, a beautiful soul, someone we've worked with in a different universe before, and someone who is actually a part of what I would say the SmackDown roster if you go back and look at that universe. But of course, none other. Welcome to the Shakers Den as we celebrate Black History Month here at the Shakers Den. None other than Stephanie Hardy.
Hey, hey, hey.
Woo! What's going on?
Oh, y'all, I'm so happy to be on here. And it's just the idea that this is such a crazy weekend that has already taken place in wrestling, period, between SmackDown, which was in my hometown of Birmingham, Alabama, 205 lit all day, and then Vengeance Day and so many other things. I'm just so happy to be with y'all so I can actually decompress and just talk about it to make sure all of this is making sense. So, yeah, thank you so much for having me on and inviting me into the Shakers Den again. Like, I love it.
Absolutely. Well, we are going to get started because, as I stated before, Monday Night Raw has decided to relinquish our win this week because of the foolery that happened on Monday Night Raw, including the bullshit that Drew McIntyre continues to pull every week. So we are going to get into it, get it really started. Now, like I said, since we are relinquishing Monday Night Raw, we are going to run through this pretty quickly. Now, for those that are new to the show, this is not a recap show, okay? This is not a highlight show. This is not, we're breaking everything down from Monday Night Raw. This is a versus, okay? So that means you put in your top hitters, okay? You want to win, but since we relinquished the win, I'm gonna tell you some things that probably would have helped us win if we weren't crushed down and beat down by all the signees at SmackDown. But we'll get into that a little later. Of course, we kick off the show. CM Punk has to let everyone know what happened as far as his injury goes. However, Drew McIntyre decided to come out and attack him once again, leaving him damn near fearful for his life. At this point, Sami Zayn comes in and tries to rescue him, but I mean, CM Punk just looks so distraught at this point. I don't know what's going to happen, but it looks like we'll find out, of course, a little later. Because if we're being honest, Monday Night Raw was pretty much a foreshadowing of what was to come to SmackDown. And that was greatness on SmackDown, not on Raw, obviously. There was a tag team match. Defending champions did win again. Finn Balor, Damian Priest did what they needed to do, defeating DIY. And then shortly after the match, R-Truth came to the ring and was later attacked by JD. And it didn't seem to impress Damian Priest too much. However, at the end, of course, JD and Finn, Damian Priest, and Dominic Mysterio all stand tall when The Miz comes out to try to help R-Truth, but that wasn't enough. We move on. Of course, Shayna Baszler and Zoe Stark did take the win over Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, building quite the momentum. I'm not sure what's really going on here because it seems like they're beating champions and they're beating tag teams, but they're not even getting the opportunity tonight for the tag team titles. But we'll get into that, of course, as I said, later in the show. Now, this is where things get very interesting because I started to put my foot in my mouth before I even saw or knew what was going to happen on SmackDown. I felt during this time that what Seth was proposing to Cody Rhodes was a joke. If Seth thinks that his title is just as prestigious, I have something to tell you, Mr. Seth Rollins. Your title is a prop, okay? Your title is handed to you because you were crying and whining because there wasn't other opportunities. So once again, your title is not prestigious. Wrong P word, my brother. It is a prop, okay? Cody seemed to be convinced. And as we know, he was pretty more convinced than I thought. I wasn't really buying it during this time, but unfortunately, this is the cause of our first relinquish of the week. Many more to come. Oh, you just wait. There was also, for whatever reason, bad booking for Jey Uso, who is main event Jey Uso, and they put him in a match with Bronson Reed for whatever reason. He takes the win. Big Bronson, let me tell you something, buddy. You are the reason why this ship is sinking on Monday Night Raw. I need you to be drafted. Or, hear me out, go to NXT. Because it's not a competition down there for us here at the Den. You are a part of the problem and the reasoning why in this versus we can't get a significant win. So once again, Bronson Reed is added to the list of why we have to relinquish this week. Now, we had a very competitive, very, very, very competitive match between the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion Gunther and Kofi Kingston. And we know how booking works. It would have been a surprise, a shock of the century, well, on Monday, if Kofi would have won. But obviously Gunther has to, as we get on the road to WrestleMania, and we're speeding fast at this point. I'm not, but they are. We have to keep Gunther as the champion. So we move on. And then there was a non-title match between Natalya and Tegan Nox. Of course, the defending champions, Asuka and Kairi Sane. Now, this was a non-title match, but I do think that Tegan Nox and Natalya did a great showing. However, you cannot defeat what Asuka and Kairi Sane have built. And I really have enjoyed them as tag team specialists. Now, what could have saved us? Probably the only thing that could have saved us was the women. That's it. Men's wrestling is suffering right now. And the problem is that the women consistently have to carry and carry and carry. And the biggest workhorse in WWE right now, Bayley, comes out. She's trying to make her decision. A lot of us were thinking it was going to be Rhea. However, well, let's be honest. Rhea thought it was going to be Rhea too, right? Well, eventually Rhea comes out, and during her entrance, Nia Jax decides to take her moment and say, you know what? I don't want to hear this. Bayley, you're not making your decision until I'm ready for you to make your decision. And actually, if we're being honest, I don't even want you to make your decision on Rhea. I think that it should be me to face Rhea. So let me show you how powerful I am. Let me show you why I deserve a match with the champion and why I deserve to beat the champion. She also, Nia Jax, kind of roughed up Bayley a little bit, which I thought was very interesting because Bayley was literally clutching her pearls. But I want to shout out to all the phenomenal women in this ring for helping us do what y'all could. I know. Y'all tried to help me get the victory this week, and it just didn't happen. And that's okay because, like I said, we did have to relinquish because guess who made the main event again? Oh boy. Drew McIntyre, everybody, the biggest loser on Monday Night Raw, the one who can't find himself into a title match, the one who cries and pleads and all begs the crowd and tries to be this big heel, but doesn't even have an opportunity or number one contenders match or nothing to get him to the top. No Money in the Bank, no Royal Rumble winning, no number one contenders match winning. All he has is a whole bunch of wins. And now he beats Sami Zayn. Ooh, Drew McIntyre. Again, our last reason why we had to relinquish. Now, before we get into some matches that will be taking place tonight, do you guys have any comments on the episode of Monday Night Raw? Any highlights that you may have seen outside of course, the biggest announcement, which would have carried us through? Andrade is a new signee here at Monday Night Raw. We welcome him. Thank you, Adam Pearce, for doing something, because for whatever reason, Nick Aldis is playing a dirty, dirty game. And I wonder who he learned that game from. Mickie James? I don't know. Matt Cardona? I don't know. But Adam Pearce is trying so hard to help us, and I understand. And Andrade, to me, they didn't have a picture of him, but he was the highlight of the night. So any other takeaways before we give it to our winners? The SmackDown team over there with Dreon Santana and Nick Aldis.
The only thing I will say is that I absolutely enjoy the segment with Damage Control, Nia and Rhea, because a lot of people have been talking a lot of trash about, oh, Nia's not a main eventer, and they're not going to do Nia. They're not going to move forward with Nia and Rhea. Let's be very clear. Nia has had a really, really great run since she's came back. There has been a change in the women's division on Monday Night Raw that we were not getting for the past couple of weeks, months before Nia even came back. So Nia's impact on Monday Night Raw has been very needed, and it definitely has showcased a lot. Because the way y'all used to complain about, oh, Rhea Ripley doesn't have any challengers, she doesn't have any opponents. This is your opponent that's going to be, and this is who Rhea's going to face at Elimination Chamber. 2 Australian women, born women. Those who may not know, Nia Jax was born in Australia. You know, you can Google it. It's there, you know. So, like, this is going to happen. And who cares about how the outcome is going to be? This is going to be a moment for both of them. I'm hoping that maybe Indy does something because she's Australian too. But either way, this is a great moment here. But other than that, I mean, I don't really have anything to say. Seth, girl, I see you still trying. You know, you may have done something to Cody way before whatever happened on Friday Night SmackDown.
Crazy.
I give you that.
Stephanie, any thoughts?
Yeah, I will say for this episode of Raw, I feel like my favorite parts were definitely DIY versus the Judgment Day. Like that tag team match was probably one of the best matches that I've seen in a minute on Raw. And I really did think at one point that they were gonna win, but Jesus Christ, like when it just comes to the Judgment Day, you just can't, bet against them at this point because they just want to hang on to those belts and hang on to the Money in the Bank briefcase. But I really did think for sure that Johnny and Tommaso could have pulled it out. And that was one of their best matches on TV for sure. And yeah, I feel that Nia Jax is on a really good run at this point, because I find that a lot of people try to hold her to her past a lot, or try to hold her to what they think or what they've conceived of her past. And I feel like that's a little bit unfair, because of course, this is now, and for all we know, while she was gone, she could have been working on some things, brushed up on a lot of things and cleaned some stuff up. And now she's clearly not doing what we think, a lot of what she was doing at first. And she has been on a good run. And yeah, like her versus Nia is going to be a huge deal, if they do fight in Australia. And also, I did not know that Nia was born in Australia. That's really cool. That's a really good tidbit to know. So yeah, like Nia is that girl, and she really does deserve this moment. Plus, I was, well, I'll get to that later, but yeah, like, yeah, those are my favorite parts.
I think she revealed it. She said it before, but more recently, I think she revealed it to Sir Wilkins on
Yes.
the
Yeah.
Driver Tears podcast, that she was born in Australia and
Mhm.
everything, which I think is really cool. I think Nia definitely deserves her flowers. I think she deserves. I know a lot of people back then would say like, she's stiff or she's injury prone or whatever. Well, injury prone to other people, whatever it may be, or wouldn't want to work with her. I tell you one thing, I'd rather work with her than Masha Slamovich, because that's just anyway. We'll get to the matches that are going to be happening tonight. Of course, after the debacle that happened in Knoxville, Tennessee, between Cody and Shinsuke Nakamura, this feud has now. Wait, were they in Knoxville or Corbin, Kentucky? I think it was the Knoxville show, right?
It was a good Knoxville show.
Okay, because I know they did 3 shows this weekend. Because I went to Vengeance, and then there was a show the same day in Corbin, Kentucky, and then the day before was Knoxville. So, tonight, Shinsuke and Cody Rhodes will get back in the ring and figure out whatever it is. There also will be a fatal 4-way that will face the winner of the tag team match that happened on SmackDown. We'll talk about that a little later. The New Day, the Creed Brothers, DIY, and Imperium will all be in a fatal 4-way tag team match. Whoever wins will represent Raw, and they'll take on the team that won on SmackDown. And then whoever wins, they'll face the Judgment Day at Elimination Chamber. So I know for me, the Creed Brothers have to win this. There's no way around it. I know DIY is very deserving, but I just think that they have kind of outshadowed and outshined, in a sense, the Creed Brothers, but I need the Creed Brothers to get their moment. Imperium and New Day, y'all can wait. Y'all got a few. Y'all can fight each other. So y'all have had y'all time. Y'all have had y'all moments. So let's get the talent that hasn't had as many opportunities to the win. So Creed Brothers, y'all know what to do. Please, Lord, I'm praying to God. There will also be a celebration for Gunther. I think it was over 600 days is what it said. There will be a celebration for this. I'm very curious to see who's going to interrupt or do whatever, because if Gunther thinks that he's going to challenge for the world title, then he's going to have to focus on his Intercontinental title. You got too much dip on your chip right now. Like you need to focus. So we'll see what happens with that. One-on-one match with JD versus The Miz as well after what happened last week. And I'm sure R-Truth and the Judgment Day will be ringside or somewhere around in the mix. And then we also have what seemed to be a mixed match tag. They weren't really evident. They weren't really clear on it, but it does seem like it's a mixed match tag between Maxine Dupree and teaming up with Tozawa, and they will take on the team of Ivar and Valhalla. Girl, I do not want to see that. I do not want to see her feet. Like, please do not. Whoever doing production tonight, do not put her nasty ass feet on the camera. That is disgusting. Y'all do that every week. That is weird. Like like I get it. That's her lifestyle. She's a Wolverine or whatever. I don't want it. And then, of course, we have to close with the women, a tag team match. I don't know why it's being given to the Party Bus Girlies, but it should have been Shayna and It should have been Shayna and Zoe because they won a tag team match last week. But listen, I don't know. But there's rumored now Party Bus Girlies will be taking on Asuka and Kairi Sane. Now it was also rumored that there will be a qualifying match tonight for the Elimination Chamber taking place this month, and Becky and Shayna will be going one-on-one. Shayna, I'm so sorry, but if you win, I will be shocked. But I'm almost certain this is Becky's ticket because she's never competed in the Elimination Chamber. So, I mean, I think it's time. I think it's time for the man to really showcase her talents. A former Royal Rumble winner, the first woman to main event and win a double champion, Becky 2 belts, and she probably will be the first woman, if not Bianca, to become a 2-time Royal Rumble winner. But I also think that Becky deserves. I don't think you have a WrestleMania without Becky. That's just how I feel. And if Charlotte's not going to be here, then I feel like Becky, it's really time for us to finally get the Becky versus Rhea match. However, we got to get through the Elimination Chamber first. But yes, thank you to everyone, some of the roster on Monday Night Raw for helping us try to get the victory. But of course, like I said, thanks to Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. Oh, the men. Big Bronson Reed, y'all had us relinquish this week. So, sorry. I hate to say it, but, SmackDown cleared. So, take it away, Dreon.
All right. So now that we are on the best brand, the blue brand, the greatest brand of all time, I don't think this past Friday's episode gets any better than what it is. This is the moment where everyone has lost their fucking mind. I'll tell you that. Y'all really lost your mind this weekend. I don't know what happened, but I know what happened, but I don't know how we got to where y'all started sending death threats to people's family members. That's what I don't understand. But let's go ahead and get started then. So first, the show opened up with Logan Paul and Kevin Owens. Of course, we know that Logan Paul technically did defeat Kevin Owens because Kevin decided that he wanted to use brass knuckles, and well, obviously Kevin isn't as smart as I thought he would have been to hide them. But it seems as if like this feud between Kevin and Logan Paul is definitely not over, in the sense of that when you have Theory and Grayson Waller, of course, being the part of the reason how Logan Paul got those brass knuckles in the first place. But here we are. So then we get Theory versus Kevin Owens in the opening match, and Logan Paul is out there, of course, watching along the way and doing what he does best, try to get involved or just be who he is, annoying. And so once again, they try to run it back with using the brass knuckles, and this time Kevin, he ends up getting a hold of him. And for once, Kevin learned his lesson and hit those brass knuckles very well to get that victory over Austin Theory. See, Logan, Kevin's not as dumb as I thought he would have been. But he did go ahead and get that victory over Austin Theory. And I don't know what it is, but Austin Theory is taking all these losses. I'm not the biggest Austin Theory fan, but he's a great talent. He's a great wrestler. And I just feel like, man, the way that I feel like his relationship with Grayson Waller is like, it seems like at some point he's going to get tired of that man because he keeps putting him in these matches in a lot of cases, and it's like, you know what, he's going to be exactly how it was for when Bayley was putting Io in all these matches and not even necessarily having a conversation to agree or whatever. So there's that. And well, hopefully, I don't think, like I said, I don't think this situation with Kevin and Logan is over. I don't know what's the next step is going to be. It seems like Logan maybe want to go to Elimination Chamber in Australia, and maybe Kevin and Logan might have that opportunity to do so. So, of course, we get to one of the favorite moments of the night. All of the women of SmackDown that we did get to see here, Bianca Belair, Shotzi, Mia, they're all hanging outside the door, and out comes Naomi, who is, of course, I mean, what's SmackDown without the glow? Like, you have to have Naomi there on SmackDown. It is her brand, you know what I'm saying, outside of her idiotic husband, Jimmy. But, you know, it's only right. But this one here was not what I was expecting to come to Friday Night SmackDown. I was not expecting Tiffany Stratton to be a part of the Blue brand
Y'all
because,
robbed us.
like I said, y'all be lying. Don't
Y'all
expect
robbed us.
that. Y'all said that Tiffany was gonna go to Monday Night Raw, and I was expecting that. But boom, she comes out of Nick Aldis office with a contract, and obviously they're gonna be moving something forward between her and Bianca Belair, which I am not mad at. But girl, why'd you hit Mia? Like, you hit Mia Yim, the woman who is known for slapping the taste out of people's mouths. You better ask Jimmy and others. So it ended up prompting up for their match for later on tonight. But I am very interested in seeing like a Tiffany Stratton and Bianca Belair feud. I think that that is going to be absolutely amazing. It's going to be good to see. This is a Taurus and an Aries, so I already know it's going to get down and wild and crazy between these two here. But also able to see Tiffany mix and mingle with a lot of the other women on the roster because she had some competition to go up against, and Mia just happened to be the first one tonight. But you have your Naomi, you got Shotzi, you got Bianca. I mean, you got all the damage control. You know, I'm sure that when Charlotte, you know, powers up on us, we're gonna have that Tiffany and Charlotte stare down, meet up,
She's
and
going to
everything.
Raw.
It's gonna, I know, because you know
She's
I'm
going to
Friday.
Raw.
But
She's
at
going to
least
Raw.
we need to at least have one stare down before she leaves, and then she just hug her and say, "You know what? This is your brand now. I'm putting it in your hands." And then boom, Charlotte passes her, you know, SmackDown reign of torch over there, and then she goes off and, well, we know what she's gonna do on Monday Night Raw. Big boot every damn.
She's been on SmackDown enough. She's
She
been on
has,
SmackDown enough. Andrade's over there. She got her bus
of course.
now. She can travel.
Yeah.
She gonna travel with her man.
Joseph, please.
I feel like Bianca might wind up whipping Tiffany, and I feel like it would be the most amazing thing on the planet. Like, I really think that Tiffany is gonna get on Bianca's nerves so much that she might actually wind up pulling out her braid and smacking her in her belly, and it's gonna be funny.
She ain't gonna know what to do. I tell you that much. But I'm interested in seeing Tiffany being down here on SmackDown. She's gonna be a great addition. As we move on, because like there is a fatal 4-way match to get an opportunity for a tag team title match. There was also, we started off here Friday SmackDown with a fatal 4-way tag team match. We had LWO, Pretty Deadly. We had Legado del Fantasma, and we had my boys Pete and Tyler Bate. And this was amazing. Like another like match favorite of mine tonight, man. Joaquin, the height is disgusting. Like he's so good inside of the ring. And I mean, like, just having all these guys here, we have so many tag teams down that we're able to see be put inside of a match or just be inside of the ring. And I thought that this was a very, very pick me up, high flying match, to say. But you know, even with this, the midst of Zelina Vega and Elektra Lopez, who made her and officially on the main roster, as well as a new signing to Friday Night SmackDown, there's obviously going to be a lot of tension floor between LWO and Legado del Fantasma. Now that we have Elektra and Zelina, definitely heavily involved. But the team of the winners go to my men, Pete and Tyler Bate, and I am so happy for them because I feel like with Tyler and Pete, they have I mean, come on now, they're the British Strong Style. Like, they have that chemistry that was more than what Ridge was given with Pete. I know that, you know, they did a thing down in NXT or whatever and stuff, but it feels so right to have Pete and Tyler be together, and for them to get this victory, I think that is well deserved because I mean, it's been a long time for Pete to even get something really, really major and be able to show that. I mean, come on now, he's a bruiserweight. Listen, there's gets nothing better than that. So I'm so happy. And then whoever wins tonight from Monday Night Raw will face Pete and Tyler, and then whoever wins there, then they'll go off to, of course, face. Oh God, face the judgment. Please don't. Please don't do this. Please do not do this to me. Do not do this to me, please. Listen, I can't. Cause at the end of the day, no matter what, I'm gonna have to slide with Pete because that's my number one. I'm sorry, Damien and Finn, but Pete has been my number one for a long, long time, and I'm always stick with my number one. So, praise God. I don't even know what to do. I'm already stressed out.
Treon.
I'm already stressed
they
out.
win. They got to get past that Monday Night Raw team.
Yes.
If it is them and the Creed brothers,
that's gonna be a movie.
That's gonna be a wrestling match for real.
That's what I mean.
It's gonna be great, but
it's probably gonna be DIY just because of the history.
That too, absolutely. I can see that.
I just want to say shout out to Elektra Lopez for not getting the bad shit end of the stick. And it's funny now knowing what we know. Her getting the call up and they turning Lola into a clown. Best booking I've seen in you gotta watch what you do back there. You gotta be careful who you piss off backstage, because the way you gained that opportunity, it'll be snatched just like that. And it was snatched within 30 seconds, to be honest. Like, I'm glad Elektra Lopez got the better end of that stick, because Miss Lola, but we'll get into it. Yeah, we'll get into
that tomorrow, because hope you're ready, Mr. Lewis. I know you are. All right, so speaking of Legado del Fantasma, I think they may have did this beforehand or whatever, but they had their backstage segment and everything, and Santos, they're letting it be known that this is their brand, and they are ready to run Shaq. And Santos, listen, I understand, you still got your beef or whatever, Rey Mysterio. That's cool. Calm down, all right? Well, I'm not in that situation. I'm not putting myself in between y'all, okay? Because I love Rey and I love Santos. I'm not doing this. SmackDown has me stressed out in so many different ways every time they bring people here. I'm not getting in between y'all. I'm gonna have a great time. Okay, I'm here for everybody. Everybody wins in my point. I don't care what the hell happens. But they're letting it be known that they're coming in and they're running Shaq on SmackDown. Point blank, period. And I think that with this new version of Legado del Fantasma, it's going to be quite interesting to see, because we had, Joaquin and Raul, or Cruz del Toro, being there, and now we got Angel and Humberto. So, gonna be, I'm not prepared. Speaking of also not being prepared, the moment, what I would say is probably my favorite segment of the night. Bayley finally calling out Damage Control for the shit that they have been doing for the past couple of weeks. Now, Bayley heard what Io, Asuka, and Kyra were saying, like, Bayley is done after tonight, like, that's it. And then Bayley was up there, she's in her all white, and it shades back to when me and Nikki were at SummerSlam when Damage Control actually formed. You know what I'm saying? And could you imagine, like, same outfit, everything. And it's like we get to this moment, and Bayley is talking about how she's done all of this. She's only thing she already wanted was Damage Control to be the best. Girl, she put out that damn Japanese. I was like, oh bitch, I thought y'all didn't know. Listen, I can't.
We were gagged.
I cannot get around the Japanese that she dropped on them. Like, it just keep playing in my head over and over again. Every time I look at the video, it's just like, girl, yeah. She learned that from y'all when y'all was talking all that stuff about her behind her back. You know what I'm saying? Y'all think she's stupid? She's been in this business for a long time. She's done it all. And it was just a matter of time before we got to this moment where Damage Control, Io, Asuka, Kyrie really showed their true colors. Dakota Kai, nowhere to be found, honey. We don't know what she's going to do. We don't know whose side she's going to choose.
She hasn't tweeted since.
She had
since.
She hasn't tweeted, but she shared that photo of Melo and Trick.
Well, not on Twitter.
on her Instagram story.
Yeah.
I
So
saw somewhere. I thought she posted like a heartbreak emoji.
Yeah, that
yeah,
was the last
that's
thing that
good.
she said on Twitter was at 8:06 on February the 2nd. And she said, yo, what is going on with a broke? And she hasn't said anything, nothing else
No.
about it. And I do think that she's picking the side of Bailey. I really do.
It's
Mm.
gonna be a good. It's gonna be great though because, but the only thing I will say that I was expecting was a little more of the beat down. I wanted y'all to. I mean, like I wanted y'all to beat Bailey down like this on Now This TV. Like I wanted y'all to beat her in a corner or something like that. Like,
Hard
but
and
I will
strong.
say hard and strong.
Hard and
Okay, like,
strong.
but you know, it still was a good segment. I give it that much. And I mean Bailey and Io WrestleMania 40 is happening. It's definitely happening. Hope that y'all can get Paramore to play for Bailey as she comes out in Philly. I'm hoping that does happen. But it was Adam Pearce's face was like, "Oh girl, what? You didn't Rosetta Stone, honey?
He
You
was
didn't
just
pull
as
out
gagged as the rest of us. It was funny.
everything." I love everything about it. Like I said, it's one of my favorite segments of the night. I know. We're gonna get to the other part. Everybody here losing their damn mind, but this one
But
here
this
had
was much better. I
this
like
was
I don't
everything
people are
though.
so like
God,
what pisses me off is the way that people equate nostalgia with actual talent. And
mm-hmm,
it's like what y'all saw with the men was not you don't love it because this man is the most talented. You love it because it's nostalgia. This is actually
Hmm.
talent in depth story. This is real. Like this is real, and this is why I
yeah,
always say the women carry. Like
yeah.
yeah.
And I mean Bailey, you know, we already know Bailey for not being like the best on the mic, but this here, it was like damn. I feel like I heard Bailey too, like her voice cracking and everything, and it's just like damn. Mercedes, bring your ass out, girl. But you know, but it was great though. I truly enjoyed it. So now it's just like, well, damn, what is the next step or what is going to go on? You know, as we get onto this road of WrestleMania. But I know it's going to be great. I wonder, will some people have a change of heart for Bailey in a sense because she's kind of in a Jey Uso situation where you know she did all this damage to people and you know, some people forgave, some people may make her work for the forgiveness. Um, I don't know who's to say, but Bailey hasn't been a babyface in a long, long time, honestly. So I feel like this babyface run for Bailey is gonna be it's so special because people are already cheering her anyway. So shout out to you, Bailey girl. It's about that time, honey. I need a pair of those pants though, because
Me
those
too.
are really cute. They hit the spot. I give you that much. So
I'm sorry. I'm on the
hmm,
I think they're ugly as hell.
it's okay.
I know. They're better in black though when she won, but
They look
I mean,
comfortable.
oh Lord, it's just something about the
you don't
mm.
like the underwear showing?
No, not that. It's just a very like cheap, like they just look cheap. Like I hate the cutting, like the
Mm-hmm.
openness of it. It's very excessive, and that's
Yeah.
probably what the designer was going for. Ugh, I hate it. I hate it.
It's all right. You know,
Yeah.
you'll come around. But yeah, so definitely, like I said, within this moment here, and Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce said, "Let me get the hell out of here, girl. This is a women's business. I don't want no parts at all." But yeah, so I mean, they like I said, they gave Bailey that beat down, and this was a standoff here where Bailey grabbed that pipe and she started going crazy. So like, and this shot here is so beautiful, to me because it's like we're really about to go to war. Honestly, two of the one with the same hair color. We're about to go to war. I'm telling you, it's gonna be great. Leading up for Road to WrestleMania, I'm really excited to see what happens. But I don't know if she'll go back to the hugger at all. I don't know. But I know that I'm happy that Bailey is actually getting, would say, to get her WrestleMania moment because I don't feel like she's really had one in a sense. So
Yeah,
hopefully this
not
is the one that she gets.
yeah, not
She better main event
necessarily.
Oh yeah.
because they
Better man.
robbed Rhea last year.
They
So
Yeah,
did.
but they already keep saying like, oh well, you know, whoever wins, like Royal Rumble get the main event WrestleMania, and it's like now it's like a totally different conversation. Like, stop saying that at Royal Rumble, and then they don't main event
or just say it applies to the men. That's my
because at
thing.
this point, it doesn't seem like.
Like, don't say it applies to the women and then you don't do it. Or then you make up some bullshit story like, oh, the Usos and Kevin Owens and Sammy deserve
No,
more. No,
no,
they
no.
didn't. No, they didn't.
It
No,
was a
they didn't.
great moment, but
Charlotte
Rhea
and
and
Rhea had the
Charlotte
best match on that card.
They
it
Period.
was
did.
Night
great.
one, they had the best match. So for them not to be the main event was
Mm,
it was a slap in the face to Rhea because Rhea
yeah.
could have become the person who main event, and then we could have had 3 women's main events. But instead, it's all about this story. That's
As
not
if
even
Rhea
they're,
and Charlotte
not
wouldn't have
even
been had
tag
story.
team. Like y'all wasted a whole damn. But
And
whatever,
Rhea and Charlotte had a longer story
girl.
than the Usos and Kevin and all them. So
They did, and it wasn't even like something that they even had to try to make up. It was just something
Right.
that naturally happened.
hmm
But I
but
but I do want to say when it comes to the Bailey segment, like there were two different times during her promo where everybody was cheering for her. It was when she was talking about, friendship and, just everything that her and Damage Control had built. And when she talked about wanting to stop at a certain point in her career, but then her girls had her back. And then after she finally confronted them and spoke the Japanese, like everybody was cheering for her two separate times. It was like Bailey, Bailey, and then a few minutes later, Bailey, Bailey again. So clearly it's working, and I'm happy for that.
absolutely. So we'll have to see. We're on the road to WrestleMania, and this is at least we got our technically our first match of that pay per view. So okay. So what I felt like we were losing at one. All right. Okay. What
Bruh,
I
I'm
felt
I'm
like.
just so hyped only because I got to see this man win last night, and y'all do not understand. Like, I literally like thought I was on Dragon Ball Z type beat. Like, I literally like jumped and like screamed, and like y'all just don't understand. So I'm doing that
Oh,
every time I see Braun Breaker. I'm doing it. I'm every time.
Well, hopefully he goes off the Monday Night Raw because y'all need it. But
the
absolutely,
shade.
absolutely. Already, I don't give a damn about
I'll
Braun. But
take him.
I think he's great. I do think that Braun Breaker is a great talent. He's just an orange bitch. He's gonna always be that. I don't care. Like he's a
Yeah.
great talent. I think Braun Breaker is a whatever brand he goes to
Yeah.
will be a great addition because he has such a his in ring
Can I say
ability
it?
is everything.
Can I say it?
Like what?
Braun Breaker is who
Uh,
they think Warlow is.
Oh Lord.
That's the he's a star. Warlow's not a
who
star. He's a good competitor. Good
Mm-hmm.
competitor. But Braun Breaker is how they tried to make Warlow. Where's Warlow now? I have no idea. But that's how they tried
Adam Cole.
to paint him. He's in some faction. I don't know.
Where
But
Adam Cole.
Braun is like the epitome of the it factor for a man, like for a male competitor. Like him and Melo are the seasoned, like are now veterans, if you want to be honest, of NXT. Like he is just immaculate. So if you want to send him, just call Nick. I'll tell Adam. And
I mean, well, Adam came in here,
yeah,
so
I
he
know.
obviously felt as if, like, I mean, we gave him the contract, saying he hasn't signed anything, so I guess he, will figure out what's gonna, figure out his way through Monday Night Raw, see if he like it and everything, and go from there, and we'll see about that.
Mm-hmm.
What we also still is up in the air about because we really don't know. But Jade Cargill, of course, she made her debut at Royal Rumble, and we still don't know where Jade Cargill is going to go. She is the hottest free agent that we have. I mean, she showed up on Friday Night SmackDown. She may show up on Monday Night Raw, get the feel of it, and then she may take her way down to NXT and see what's going on. But as of right now, we do not know where Jade Cargill is going to be aligning herself with which brand we don't know, but that blue looks great on her. I give her that. You know,
Yes.
I mean, hey, if she pulls up in red, I think she looks great in there. She wants to pull up in gold, I think she looks great in there. But blue is eating. I'm not gonna lie, it really is. I thought maybe we sealed another deal because it was just so much happening on SmackDown. I didn't know what was going on. I was like, damn, Raw, get up, you
Well,
know?
unfortunately, we don't have the colors that she looks the best in, the pink and the
Yeah,
green. But
yeah.
but I don't know
Mhm.
how she's gonna feel about being in that red, but she was comfortable in that blue.
She sure
She
So
was.
was.
I
She
don't
definitely
know.
was. So
But
I mean,
y'all doing too much over there now.
what do
Like
you
this is the part of the show y'all was doing too much. Like y'all was doing way too damn much.
Yeah, I
Like
did way too much too. I lost my voice on this part because I started screaming as soon as she popped up on the Titantron. I was like, "That's Jane!" And I just couldn't stop screaming.
I didn't even know she was coming.
I didn't either.
I didn't know what was going on. I just, Nick and I, we was having a conversation earlier throughout the day. He was like, some people are going to be coming. I was like, oh, okay, cool. And he just told me to pay attention. And so I paid attention. And so did everyone else. So we just don't know where Jay Cargill is going to go, but I'm sure wherever she goes is going to be great. But yeah, SmackDown is laying it down. Okay. Okay. All right, so we move on to Tiffany versus Mia Yim in her very first match on a Friday Night SmackDown. And Tiffany's gear her gear at Royal Rumble was sick. Her gear here I'm gonna say tonight, her gear here on Friday was great too as well. Her and Mia put on a really, really nice match. I don't think I don't think it lasts that long and everything, but I do feel like it was great for what it was worth for Tiffany to have her debut match to face Mia Yim, which Mia is a great talent to work with and everything. And I think that with Tiffany, she was able to showcase a little bit of what she has to bring as being a new addition to Friday Night SmackDown. She does end up getting that victory over Mia Yim in a hard fought battle. So I want to know what's going to be next. Is it going to be Shotzi that she slaps in the face? If she's gonna slap Naomi in the face, girl, you better not slap Bianca Belair in the face. She didn't already got slapped enough.
if she
So
want to,
all right,
if she want to,
She better
okay.
not slap no more black women.
if she
That's all I
want
got to say.
to.
Not during Black History Month. No,
What do you
no,
mean?
no,
Listen, that woman
no.
can smack
I'm gonna say something.
whoever. If
Okay,
listen, that woman
yeah,
can smack whoever. When she smacks Charlotte, she just gonna
She,
smack Charlotte.
yeah.
let's
And
wait
Okay.
we
till
gonna get
March.
and I'm
Like,
gonna get my and I'm gonna get my now I'm not condoning smacking black women. What I am condoning is Tiffany Stratton putting the smack down wherever she want to
Well,
lay it.
well,
Okay.
she gonna be laying down for a couple of months. She keep
Because
playing.
if we mad about anything, we should have been mad about how many black talent took the losses last night at Vengeance.
Well, that ain't the only thing they're mad about.
Child,
except Obafemi.
I've seen Charlotte be smacked before, Joseph. I will be fine. Tiffany, listen.
Hell, Stephanie
I
McMahon
don't think
almost slapped
I don't
Charlotte.
think Joseph really understands how marked out I am with Tiffany Stratton. Like
Tiffany is
she is
great though.
in, like she's replacing Bliss for me right now. Like and Bliss is high on my list.
Oh wow.
Tiffany Stratton is the future. So
Absolutely.
if she smacks Charlotte, she gonna have to deal with that. But listen, that's the moneymaker for me. Little sis versus big sis, pink versus blue. Okay,
Mother versus daughter.
okay, mother versus mother. Forget that. It's mother versus
Okay,
mother.
putting them in the
The
ring
mother
right
off.
now. I'm sure,
But yeah,
like I said, I'm sure that whenever the time comes, yeah,
it's
Survivor
time.
Series,
It's
maybe.
time now, Lord.
I'm telling you. All right. The moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so we get to, of course, closing out the show because Cody did let it be known that he would be, coming to Friday Night SmackDown. He did let that be known that he was coming to Friday Night SmackDown. Now, before Cody comes out, Roman, I saw a lot of y'all were like, "Oh my God, he buried Seth." Girl, he didn't say shit that he had already said before. He always talking about how he didn't beat all these people. You still haven't beat Seth. You still haven't beat Randy. There's a lot of people that you haven't still beat. You know, you just may have beat people who were considered to be main eventers or like top stars. You know what I'm saying? But you haven't beaten every damn body. Just saying. So, you know, but he had a lot of things to say about Seth Rollins, and stuff. And it's like, damn, you tend to have a lot to say about that man. When that man was creeping around on your brand a couple of like 2 years ago, you was quiet. You wasn't really, you know, talking all this shit. You know what I'm saying? You were in distraught. You didn't know what to do. You know what I'm saying? So yada yada yada. So Cody comes out, of course, and you know, this is when the moment where Cody, you may have upset a lot of people, in the sense of the fact of that it's like you pretty much let it be known that you will be facing Roman Reigns, but not at WrestleMania. You basically have given your spot to someone who knows Roman Reigns very well. And it just so happened to be Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And now me, on the other hand, I did pop for this. You know what I'm saying? Because this is what I know him for, is when I was a child watching and everything. You know? But to know that Cody gave up his spot for a story that was supposed to happen last year, I am surprised that they would even move forward with this. But I knew that the moment, the first time The Rock even appeared back on television, when he was talking about it on Pat McAfee's Gaming Day thing, where he was talking about how they were supposed to have done this last year, I just had a feeling and knew that when he kind of got into the TKO position, and then we were moving a little bit inch closer, this was going to happen. It was just a matter of fact that they were going to, because they didn't do the story last year, they're doing the story this year. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think we necessarily know if they're going to be doing it at WrestleMania, because they haven't really said much. These two didn't even say nothing to each other. They just stood there and looked at each other. So we didn't even get a word or a peep out of them. I know The Rock said something like afterwards or whatever after the show went out, but as far as like talking and getting some type of interaction, they just stared at each other, and then Roman, you know, walked off. But the look on Cody's face, it's just like, I don't know. It's like, damn, he won the Royal Rumble and now he has to settle to face someone he's already beaten once before. That's cool, that's great, but that doesn't finish the story that Cody Rhodes was trying to do at all whatsoever. It is a slap in the face to him, because he's someone who's been here doing what he got to do, and he won the Royal Rumble fair and square in his own spot. Like, he won that. And now we're switching gears, we're moving things around just so we can get a story of The Rock and Roman, two people who, let's be honest, we're going to get those signatures, we're going to get finishers, we're going to get signatures, we're going to get finishers, we're going to get signatures, we're going to get finishers. We're going to get the same thing, repeat in that entire match. And we're going to move on, and there's not going to be shit else to talk about. When we could have went on with Cody Rhodes' story, let him finish it, and we would have been in a better place. But once again, it seems like we're running back into where we had like your Daniel Bryan situation going on. You know, you may have like they're trying to, you know, build this Kofi Mania for Cody in a sense. And it's basically how it was for when CM Punk was here. And CM Punk did tell Cody in that promo that you have he did tell him that. And all of this is happening. But you know who the real problem and the person to blame for all of this happening?
Say it.
It's Drew fucking McIntyre.
Thank
If
you.
Drew McIntyre had never injured CM Punk in the Royal Rumble, we would not have any of this happening right now.
None of it.
So therefore, Drew McIntyre, you are the problem. And now you're gloating around and stuff. You're the reason why all this happened. You're to blame.
And you're going to get left out the card.
I hope they ruin your WrestleMania moment.
I just think it's funny that everybody's so happy about The Rock, but can't name 3 good Rock matches. Like, he's not a wrestler. He's not your wrestler's favorite wrestler. He's a sports entertainer. And that was my point earlier. Rock was not as talented as people make him in the ring. Great talker. wonderful talker. He's not a wrestler's wrestler. And the problem that I have with this is that I like good wrestling. I do. So I'm going to watch WrestleMania regardless. But I can cut off my television when Roman and Rock come on because at the end of the day, there's nothing about that match. It's going to be the same way they did Terry and Rock. That build and that story was bigger. We got to the match. That match is trash as hell.
Sucked.
Sucks. The biggest Rock fans can't name 3 outstanding 5-star Rock matches because he's not a 5-star wrestler. He's not. And that's just what it is. Nostalgia allows people to be fooled by, and this is a business standpoint. So I'm not mad at it at all. This is about business. This is not about wrestling. This is not about pro wrestling. This is really not even about sports entertainment. This is about putting asses in seats. That's it. It's 40 years. And for me as a fan, when Charlotte was announced that she wasn't going to be, injured and everything, I knew I wasn't going to Philly. I want fans that are happy for this to enjoy this. And when it's over, I want fans to look back and be like, was it worth it? And I'm not saying it is or not. I'm just very curious to know how fans are going to feel after a Rock. Now, it looked good on paper. Don't get me wrong. A Rock versus Roman match. Beautiful on paper. Beautiful on paper. But I want to know, is it really worth it? And to be honest, Cody, I'm done. Okay? Like, Cody, I'm done. You stepped aside. You made your own bed. I hope you lose to Seth. I hope you never finish that story. Because you sat there and you cried and you pleaded and you won 2 Royal Rumbles in a row just for this man to weasel his ass on and just became the lead man of TKO just for The Rock to come in and take your spot, Cody. That was your spot. So guess what? You have no one to blame but your damn self. Your story is sad. Okay? Cody Rhodes, your story is a sad book. Your story is the ending of Iron Claw. Your story means nothing. If you beat Seth, you didn't finish anything. What you did was you read a bad chapter and you closed it because you couldn't finish it because it was too bad for you. So what you do, you went to chapter 2. And that doesn't even make you secondary. You're not even top 5 in your own story. And it's sad. It's so sad. And Cody, at the end of the day, you are on the road to WrestleMania by yourself at this point. Your story will never be completed because you allowed The Rock, a man of nothing but nostalgia. Cody, you're one of the best wrestlers in the world. You went to Defy and defined your legacy. Hello? You went to the Indies and you sit there when there were 20 people. Come on, son. You're an embarrassment. I hate to say it, but you're embarrassing to the ones. And listen, I just became a Cody fan. So to the ones that have been there, let me tell you something. We don't do this shit in the Queendom over there, okay? We don't do this in Charlotte Flair country, baby. We don't do this. We're winners. Pick your chin up, Cody. Pick your chin up. It's not gonna happen. It's not. Your story has now become a best-selling fiction novel that is going to make everyone cry because it was never finished. Because you wanted to allow The Rock to come in and have his moment. Because he's never had a moment, right? The Rock's never had a moment. Ever. He's never had a moment, right? He's never had a WrestleMania moment or a SummerSlam moment or a Survivor Series moment or a Royal Rumble moment. Huh? Wow. That's crazy. So Cody, you have no one to blame but yourself, buddy. So I don't feel bad. I'm staying out of men's business. I don't give a damn what y'all do. I hope y'all enjoy and have a good time in Philly. Honey, remember in 1776, we were not free. Okay? Just remember that. We were not free in 1776. We ain't free now. Cody, what you did was crazy as hell. And you just stood there like he pushed you along. He just pushed you. It's sad, man. I don't care what happens. I hope you lose. And I hope if y'all think The Rock finna be Roman, that's laughable. And I don't know, Drew. I hope you don't get on the card. I hope we don't see your ass until Money in the Bank or whatever. But yeah, that's it. It just is what it is. Now I don't condone the death threats. Now y'all have with that just y'all have taken it too far. But let people be angry to an extent. Don't all the bullshit that y'all doing. All the bullshit that y'all are doing and stuff. It's not no. But let these folks have. If people want to sell their plane tickets or get rid of their plane tickets or sell their tickets, let them do that. Y'all, a lot of y'all in the media world have tried to control the narrative of fans since Friday night. Why are y'all so upset like y'all work for WWE? Y'all don't work for WWE. So stop trying to control people's narratives and try to this is scripted. We know this. So if people want to be mad and frustrated, let them be mad and frustrated. Y'all try to cap on everything. I'm not condoning the bullshit, but if someone wants to be upset and say that they're not going to WrestleMania, stay out of folks' pockets. Because when y'all get in my pockets, it might not be money in there. You might get something else that's gonna shock you. So I'm not going to Philly. I'm gonna be home based. I'm not wasting my fucking money on that bullshit. That's how I feel. And if you don't like that, that's fine. But at the end of the day, let these people have how they feel. If they don't want to spend their money and going to Philly, they're not gonna do that. And whoever goes to Philly, they're gonna have a good time. And that's just gonna be that on that at the end of the day. Rhea, come on. Stop turning my damn lights out. But yeah, that's why I'm at with it. Good riddance, honey. Cody, it was a good run, buddy.
Yeah, I would just like to say and just chime in a bit, as a person who was in the audience for this happening. We were popping and we were excited because it was The Rock and he's gonna get that nostalgia pop. And plus, it had been years since he had even been to Birmingham. Like I believe the last time he was in Birmingham, I think I was a kid maybe. So the idea of him coming was just really lit. But I can tell you this: when he shook Cody's hands and they hugged each other, I looked at my boyfriend and just said, I really think he just divaed his way into WrestleMania. And I said this on my show, and me and my boyfriend have had conversations about it because he watches ESPN and First Take. And he was just like, look, I really think that The Rock might be trying to manifest this for this year. And I was like, well, he did say he wanted to play the long game, so maybe they'll just wait. No, like he really divaed his way through. And I was just like, I don't like this at all. I did not like it at all because I have been one of those people who was like, okay, I saw Cody get cheated out of his opportunity. He even mentioned that on screen Friday night, and that was the first time he ever verbally acknowledged the fact that Roman cheated to win last year at WrestleMania. And I was so mad that I walked out, but that's neither here nor there. I'm thinking he gonna get his lick back this year because you won the Royal Rumble again. But for you to just give it away to The Rock out of nowhere, who number one is a board of director now, number two, is trying to like get stuff started for himself outside of movies, and number three, to add a different layer to it politically, he owns our UFL football team, the Birmingham Stallions, the two-time USFL champions. So it's deeper than that. So it's just kind of like, yo, like this is crazy. See, yeah, it's way deeper because the mayor of Birmingham, Mayor Randall Woodfin, he was in the building. A lot of other people were in the building as well. Like like there were news outlets in the building too. So I don't know if they got tipped off that he was in town or whatnot. But either way, lots of media was in the building in the BJCC for all of this. So not saying that it wasn't an exciting moment to see him, and it's not exciting that we now have a t-shirt that says finally the Rock is coming to Birmingham, because I'm lit. But and I'm happy that we have worked up to this point as a city to have a moment like this, because this could have happened anywhere else. I'm glad we got it for once. But the fact that this happened this way really just broke my heart into pieces. And even like I couldn't even get into the dark matches afterward, which was Sammy and Drew, and then Nia, Rhea, and Shayna for the women's world title. It was hard for me because my heart was just broken. Like I was on the floor. Like, Cody, you're not going to get your lick back at WrestleMania after everything you went through. Like that really hurt. But I'm happy that we are getting Rock and Roman, because I was one of those people that wanted to see that generational thing, but I did not want it at the expense of somebody who worked so hard and connects with people so deeply, and connects with the audience so deeply organically and is there consistently all the time. Like I did not want that at the expense of him. So it just hurts and I don't like it. But yeah, it's a whole lot deeper than just what you see, because from the Birmingham side of it, from the political side of it, yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, y'all coach already tampering with Arizona's football quarterback.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't know. I ain't gonna stay
Wait,
into.
is that the college or is
Yeah,
that
Bama.
yeah,
I heard
okay,
Bama.
see,
I heard
I'm not in
Bama.
that one.
Oh, okay. I heard
That's
Bama was.
Tuscaloosa.
I heard they was but it is what it is. Santana, how you
One
feel?
thing I want to say, well, I don't know. Like, I don't think I have much of a feel, because I always look at myself as a fan, and like I said, I grew up watching The Rock or whatever. This is something that I have talked about, was watching, The Rock and everything as a kid. Enjoying his mic skills, enjoying seeing him inside the ring, or enjoying his movies and everything. What I will say is that I if they were going to move forward with this, I think that, yeah, Cody, you win the Rumble, boom, you go and you go out to WrestleMania, you win, maybe you lose, and then boom. After that, Cody, your story is done. You just can't complete it. Then The Rock comes out, and then we move forward to this being somewhere like SummerSlam, or maybe Backlash, since they want to go overseas or whatever. I feel like this could have happened like afterwards, somewhere down the line this could have happened, versus happening now. You're taking someone's opportunity that they worked hard for to get something like this here. So it is a tough situation, but I feel like, and I do want to know, but I guess I kind of have to see how everything play out, because of how the reactions were after the fact, where people were not happy, people were booing, people were like, oh fuck this, we're gonna hijack everything. And like I said, people have lost their fucking minds over the weekend, where y'all sitting in death threats, y'all cursing people out, y'all just doing all kinds of things because y'all don't get outside, obviously. So, and every time I come back on social media, it's always something new happening. We moved on to selling our plane tickets. We moved on to selling our WrestleMania. We turned out to people saying they want to send bombs to WrestleMania, and all kinds of crazy things y'all just talking around in your mouth or whatever. So I just feel like this is a wrong move, because first of all, at the end of the day, if y'all gonna do Rock and Roman, that title needs to be going. This whole bloodline thing, it doesn't even have anything to do with this fucking title anymore at all. All I'm gonna say, and I'm gonna end this here. The same way I told y'all last year that the bloodline itself was ending, and that Jay was gonna go on by his business, Roman Reigns is losing that title this year. So remember that February 5th, 2024, Santana told y'all, saying what she told y'all, what the hell going with the bloodline. Roman is losing that damn title. I don't give a fuck who he loses to. He's losing that title. I don't care if they bring out Hornswoggle. He's losing that damn title.
Oh, girl.
He's losing that damn title. I don't care how it happened. He's losing it. Point blank.
He is. Oh,
So if it's
girl.
a cash
I don't
in,
think so.
if he gets bopped in the head,
He
you
beat
know,
Rock clean. 1, 2, 3.
I don't, well, they're gonna have to figure out what they're gonna do there because, you know, Jay is
Yeah,
still around. Who knows? They may bring in all the Fatus and everybody come around. You
yeah.
know, there may be a change of heart in some places with the bloodline. Who knows? They may side with the Rock. Nobody, we don't really know exactly what's going to happen here within this whole thing. But what I do know is that title does not need to be involved.
It doesn't.
The
Joseph,
title,
to answer your question, it was really loud. The boos were extremely roaring in Vengeance last night. They were literally like, and I mean, you would think, and F&M Bank is not a big venue. It only has 100, like it only has like section 100, and then there's like 200s, but there's very minimum seating. And when they showed the graphic, because they have put The Rock and they have put Roman on the graphic for press, anyone going out for that in Las Vegas, they were loud as hell. Like, and I mean, like, it was roaring. And the "We Want Cody" chants were so, I laughed because Lovely told me I needed to be on my best behavior. And she told me if she caught me saying any of that bullshit, that she would get on to me. So I listen, when Lovely speaks, it is what it is. So I laughed and then I just kept it at that because I'm gonna be honest, like going to the show last night reminds me of no matter how bad things happen in wrestling, you're gonna get something even greater. Like Vengeance was 10 out of 10. Whole card booking, production was great. So I think that being in the atmosphere, it just didn't really matter. But the booing is 100% there. And I think that I don't know. I'm just curious to see what happens. I know we'll be home base.
yeah. I
We'll be
do
home.
wonder with all of this that's going on with the negative reactions that they kind of been getting with this. I wonder will they have a change of heart or swerve the situation or maybe think about
Mm.
Cody get to the point where he like gets so frustrated and mad that self he doesn't want to fuck with you, bro. He know how to beat your ass multiple
Are they
times.
making a
Go,
triple threat?
go work on your back. Do something else. Like I don't know, somebody clock Rock ass in the back, and then like I don't
It's
know
not happening.
anything,
Something.
anything
This
to
is
get
it.
Cody, anything to get Cody back into the position that he was supposed to be in. That
Yeah.
is completing this story. So you can't have 2K24 wrapped around finishing the damn story, and then boom, The Rock shows up. Now he on the cover of 2K24 because he didn't replace Cody Rhodes and
And that's
everything.
the EST story and not the Cody Rhodes.
I got
How
the
about that?
Well,
EST story.
How about that? How
nah,
about that? Because it ain't. Cody, your story's over, buddy.
I'm sorry, Cody.
And
It was a great run, and I'm pretty sure he's on now.
yeah, he is.
But
Oh,
we
he's
do
on.
have this here. And like I said, it was announced Bailey will be taking on Io Sky for the women's world championship at WrestleMania. We don't know which night it's going to be. We don't know what position is going to be on the show or where it's going to be placed on the card. But I'm really excited to see this here because I know it is going to be great. But that pretty much wraps up Raw versus SmackDown, you guys. Shout out to give your thanks and everything to Stephanie for coming in and hanging out with us here for Raw versus SmackDown and everything like that. Of course, the Blue Brand's gonna always continue to do what we gotta do,
Whatever.
and that's on that. We just gotta see what's gonna happen tonight. Maybe you guys can get a little, something that can help y'all out, because
I don't know. We might relinquish the whole road to WrestleMania. I don't know. I don't know.
I don't know. Listen,
Nikki, don't give up.
I'm
Don't give up.
I am incapacitated. I'm dealing with a Charlotte Flair injury. Like that, you
Don't
put
give up.
anything on top of that.
mm-hmm.
Cora Jade injury. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh my
Like you're
goodness.
putting it, you're piling and piling and piling. A sister can only take so much.
I
During Black History
understand.
Month or not. I am deprived. Okay.
But don't
I
give up.
I listen, I am not John Cena.
You got to stay in the fight.
But you quoted that man yesterday, so
What did I say? What did I say?
he was like, my time is up or some shit.
Oh yeah, I was like, my time is.
I was like, my time is up, like John Cena. I was like, girl. We haven't played any of our videos in a minute, but Stephanie, let everyone know where they can of course keep up with you at and catch all your shows and stuff that you do.
Well, thank you guys, first of all, for having me. It was a pleasure being here. You guys can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Queen Steph Hardy and on Threads at Queen Steph Hardy and on TikTok at Stephanie_Hardy, and listen to the Hardy Wrestling Podcast everywhere you get your audio podcast, and subscribe to the YouTube channel, The Hardy Wrestling Podcast. I'm celebrating my 4th anniversary this week, so that's going to happen, and I will be at Comic-Con for those in the Birmingham area this weekend, so please check out the Fan Table 3.0. And yeah, we're just doing great things. And Wednesday, me and Katrina will be having Steph and Cat Talk WoW, where we recap WoW Women of Wrestling Superheroes. So that's where you can find me if I'm not passed out somewhere, because I am tired.
Make sure y'all get her merge on For Your Wear. I'm gonna be getting some later today.
Thank you.
Absolutely, because I need to be geared up for Love and War. So
well, we'll definitely talk about TNA this Thursday, especially with the match that was announced today. I'm so excited for it. Oh my god.
Yeah, TNA is such in Santana's favor. Like, only thing that I'm getting some stuff too, but yeah, Santana's finna go on a crazy TNA run. I'm excited. Man. I'm about to go on a little AEW run. If you're in the area, I'm not gonna tell you what show I'll be at, but I will be at an AEW show. And of course, you can catch me on Twitter. We have some special announcements. We have finished our catalog for our spotlights for Black History Month. Everyone gets an interview. You get an interview. You get an interview. We will be we featured Jada Stone, and then we also will be featuring Mackenzie Morgan. If you're not familiar with her, that's why it's a spotlight. So get to know who she is. She is the Memphis Wrestling Women's Champion and has been for a very long time. We're also going to be featuring 2 spectacular talents. One being someone who wrestled in New Japan Pro Wrestling, TNA, and who has trained at the dojo. And we've actually sat down with him before. Well, Santana did that one. Santana did this interview. So it's going to be very fun to see, because in my opinion, this man is the most talked about talent in the indies right now. So if you don't know who it is, make sure you check that out. And then we'll have a very special episode at the end of the month with Matt from Black Wrestling Podcast. We chose to spotlight him. However, we ended up going almost 2 hours. So it's not an interview. It's actually a good old kickback here in the Shaker's Den. It's going to be the day me and Santana sit down and edit that. Y'all,
it's gonna be a lot of deep sides, I'm telling you.
We got slizzard, okay? Like, it felt like, being honest, it felt like being at a kickback, like a cookout, just 2 cousins who ain't seen each other in a long time kicking it. So make sure you check out all of our Black History Month spotlights, because everyone who came in is very special to us here at the Shaker's Den, and we really appreciate it. We also got an interview that we just did earlier with Miss T Honey, Miss Jen, Miss Thickum. So that's really fun. She's going to be talking about Cody Rhodes, Roman. She's going to be talking about so much stuff, and you might even see a future collab coming in the near future. So we got it cooking. We got it cooking. So
like The Rock. All right. You guys have a great night. We thank you guys so much for coming in and hanging out with us here in the Shaker's Den. As always, we'll be back on tomorrow for our NXT Uncut, because it's definitely getting uncut.
Baby,
on that show.
Y'all better listen. I'm gonna warn y'all. Don't bring your kids, because I'm telling you, Lola Vice is public enemy.
Jesus.
When I tell you,
I can't wait to watch it.
She's getting jumped. Like, she's getting jumped for real.
Like,
yeah.
Yeah.
It's gonna be nasty. But
Hide
And
your
I just
definitely
kids,
want to
hide
say
your
really quick.
wives.
I just want to say
huh?
really, 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 really quick. Shout out to Tasha Steele.
Yeah.
I just want to say that because I love Tasha to death. I ordered one of her shirts and she sent me a
Mhm.
8x10. I think everybody got 8x10s, but everybody didn't get my message. Okay. So I just want to shout out to Tasha Steele because every time I see Carmelo Hayes, I can't help but think about Tasha
Mhm.
Steele. I know it's crazy as hell, but I want her in NXT, but I want her to be happy wherever she is. But shout out to Tasha Steele because she deserves all the flowers. And when she pops up,
Absolutely.
wherever she pops up, her pop is gonna be not saying she's leaving TNA, but I'm just saying like if she goes somewhere else or does anything, her pop is crazy. So shout out to Tasha Steele. I will try to wear the shirt because that design is sick on Thursday. So just want to say that before I know we're running over.
Yeah. We do find out why my man did what he did, and whatever. Y'all be all right. And then on Thursday we'll be back, of course, for a TNA wrestling post show, the greatest TNA wrestling post show of all time.
Ever.
And then, of course, reality TV fix returns, ladies and gentlemen, because we got a lot to talk about. We got a lot to showcase there. So I hope you guys are ready for that and everything too. Other than that, check out all of our stuff we have going on here at the Shakers In, from Instagram, Twitter, definitely on our YouTube. Shout out to the Battleground Podcast as always for having us here as well. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Enjoy Monday Night Raw because they're gonna need that victory. Bye guys.
Wait.